So this is part 2. My addiction, my food addiction. My video shut off because of my crappy ass phone. Has no memory or time on it ever. I have to always delete stuff. Applications, videos, pictures, usually applications, to be able to make videos to then post them. That's why I hadn't been vlogging in forever, because of issues with my phone. So I had to upload the other video so I could do this one and so forth. So in being honest, I gave in to my addiction when I was waiting for it to upload. I ended up looking through the refrigerator. I found a piece of meat, cooked about 3 ounces of it just so I could have enough just to be like, okay, this should handle it. It should be enough. And honestly, it's not. My body wants more, but I'm not going to eat anymore. If I have to, I'll just go to bed hungry. And because it's like I'm not hungry, it's just there's this need to eat. But we need to treat people with food addictions differently in this country. We need to give them better resources and better access to health care without having to go into a mental health hospital and have to do it that way. I mean, yeah, that's what they did for drug addicts. No, don't plow my sofa. Get out of there. That's what they did for drug addicts and alcoholics forever, until probably a good 20 years ago. That's where you had to go. That's the only place where you could get treatment. We need to do the same thing for food addiction. We need to be able to realize that it is an addiction. It is something that the person who has this problem cannot help. It's not something that they want to do, or it's something that they do by choice. It's something that they have to do, that it consumes every ounce of your being when you have an addiction. Some people just don't understand that. It's not like and like for me, trying to think how long ago it was, probably 8 years ago, I was going to have weight loss surgery. I was at the heaviest I've ever been, which I'm getting back up there with the way things are going. But I was at the heaviest I've ever been. I was miserable. I was suicidal. And my orthopedist, who I absolutely adore, he told me that I needed to do something. Both of my knees needed to be replaced. At that time, I had one bone on bone. The other one that was bone on bone and getting to the point where it was going into the bone. But he didn't want to do replacements yet. So he's like, you need to do this. This is what you need to do for you. I went through the program. Got down to where I had to go through mental health services. They make you go see a psychiatrist to make sure that you are mentally sound enough and that you have enough of a support network to be able to have weight loss surgery. Because most people with weight loss surgery change their food addiction for another addiction. Alcohol or sex is usually the two prevalent. Next is gambling. So they want to make sure you have a good support system. I was told by my spouse at the time that I wasn't allowed to go anymore. I was actually locked up at the house when the days when I was supposed to have doctor's appointments, because they wouldn't take me, because I had been told by a mental health professional before in the past that this person was extremely abusive and that I needed to get away. And then shit happened and we moved and I became even more isolated and more abused. But anyway, when I went through that program, they were explaining to me how because I don't feel hungry. My stomach doesn't growl. Even if I go a couple days without eating, my stomach usually doesn't growl. I don't get hungry. I don't get those hunger pains when I haven't eaten. It's weird because I can eat a full course dinner and sit and literally be like, oh my God, I'm miserable. I have eaten so much. 5 minutes later, I get hunger pains. My stomach hurts so bad because it says it's hungry. But I don't get that way when I'm actually hungry, which is weird. I don't get that way until I physically am to the point where I can vomit. So it was explained to me that there's a hormone receptor in your stomach, and it's what makes you feel hungry. It's also what makes you feel full. And mine does not work properly. So they told me at that time they also were not sure if weight loss surgery will help. It will get the weight off. They do not know if it will work long term because of this issue with my hormone receptors in my stomach not working properly. So it was suggested to me at that time to also check myself into a mental health institution and see about getting help with my food issues, which I always thought was funny because it wasn't rehab.